Hey guys, HCGChica. How are you guys doing? I'm checking in to give you a couple little updates. Today is actually day 146 since the end of my fourth round, so it's been almost 5 months now. And I just went and had a hydrostatic body fat test done this morning. To kind of see where I'm at. I am going to be starting my fifth round, I believe, in another day or so. um, so anyway, I just wanted to share the results with you and where I'm at. Just for those of you who like to know about the long-term keeping the weight off portion of HCG. I finished round 4 at 126.6 pounds. That was my LDW. That was on April 23rd. On May 5th, about a week and a half or 2 weeks later, I went in for my hydrostatic body fat test, and on that day I was 127.4, so zero point 0.8 above my LDW, and that day I had 30.5 pounds of fat after they did the test. So that was on May 5th. 4.5 months later, today, I weighed in on the scale at 133. That's 6.4 pounds above LDW and 5.6 pounds above my last test 4.5 months ago. As of today, I have, I forgot I didn't write it down. I have 30.95 pounds of fat. So I gained less than a half pound of fat in that entire period, less than a half pound, and I gained over 5 pounds of muscle. I go to CrossFit. If you don't know what CrossFitting is, you should definitely Google it. There's a whole CrossFit YouTube channel, and it's totally amazing, and I just totally am in love with it. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that I have maintained almost 100% of my fat loss, not only from this round, but from my third round as well. The same thing happened after that round. I was CrossFitting for 3 months. I gained 7 pounds of muscle and only a half pound of fat. So basically in the last 10 months, I've kept, I don't know, is that 99% of my fat loss off from HCG. So anyway, I just want to share it because I'm so excited. I don't know, every time I go in for one of these tests, the results are better than I expected. The reason for that is I use a handheld body fat monitor. Some of you know about it, and I'm really excited to see a lot more people actually using one lately. For anyone who doesn't know, you can get it on Amazon. Actually, if you go to my website, I'm going to have a link of where you can buy it as well. It's like 30 bucks. But anyway, I have found it to be very consistent, and it's fairly accurate as well. This time, I did my body fat monitor this morning, before I had the test done, and basically it overestimated my body fat percent by 1.4%. So really close, 1.4% is pretty darn close. And 1.5 pounds of fat it overestimated compared to my hydrostatic test. So really overall very close. What's interesting is that when I was heavier, the Omron, the handheld body fat monitor, actually underestimated my body fat percent by a little bit. And now, I guess because I'm smaller, because I'm thinner and my body composition's different, I have a lot more muscle and a lot less fat, it's now overestimating my body fat percent a little. So that's kind of interesting. But because it's overestimating it, when I've been doing it, daily and seeing my weight go up a little and kind of wondering how much of my weight gain was fat and how much was muscle, the Omron wasn't giving me as much credit as I was due because actually almost all of it was muscle and not fat, like it was kind of seeming to be some of it was fat. But like I said, less than a half pound of fat gain. I do not count calories at all. While I don't eat sugar per se, I have been eating literally loads and loads of fruit for the last 5 months. Basket upon basket of figs. Figs are very sweet. They have quite a bit of fructose in them. So tons of fruit sugar. I've even, had more rice type stuff. And then I got to come clean a little bit here. I actually just moved physically from our home a few weeks ago now. And the whole process of moving from a 3-bedroom home while having a 3-year-old son, and the whole circumstances it was in, our house was foreclosed, you know, just stuff like that. Don't feel sorry for me because we totally have another house that we're renting now that we love, so it's totally fine. But the process itself was pretty stressful. And I did find myself reverting back to some old eating habits. I've talked about them a little bit on some of my vlogs. I really kind of refer to it as an eating disorder, in fact, because I used to basically sugar binge. And I haven't done that at all in almost a year. But for a couple days there, I didn't have an oven. I can't eat gluten. There's very few things that I can eat out that don't make my intestines feel horrible. So I ended up starting to eat these gluten-free cookies and just in large amounts. So it was really not healthy. And for about a week and a half, I really was getting off, and it kind of scared me because I don't want to ever go back to those habits again. And I was finding myself, craving that sugar again, and I haven't been having to crave sugar in a long time. So anyway, I just want to share that I did have quite a bit of sugary carbs for about a week and a half. And yet, when I went to have my hydrostatic done today, less than a half pound of fat gain in 5 months. So, so anyway, I'm very happy, and I'm also happy to say that I have, the reason I can talk about it and smile is because I started my own little sugar detox that I have found works for me, which is basically to eat high fat and high protein, and basically almost no carbs for several days. And usually that cuts the cravings, and the withdrawals are really minimal for me from the sugar the quickest, and it works. It's like the most painless. So I already started that. Today's the 6th day actually. So so I'm happy about that. I'm done with the sugar thing again already, and I'm glad I didn't get off track for too long. But I really was worried about, I was like, I'm probably gaining a few pounds of fat here. I mean, I was eating quite a bit. But as it was, my results are doing well. So I just want to share all that because, I started HCG back in February 2011. I've maintained basically 100% of my fat loss while eating. I eat a lot. I don't take thyroid medication anymore. I've been off of my thyroid medication since the beginning of March. So it's been several months. So I haven't needed that to keep my fat off as well. And that's partly due to HCG and also partly due to CrossFit. For anyone who has a CrossFit gym in their area, I mean, you can look it up. Look for a CrossFit gym in your city. It's really great. I really think that it keeps my metabolism running well. I feel like I can eat really freely, calorie-wise, and even carb-wise now. And I really feel like it has a lot to do with that. And I also feel like continuing to have the self-control overall to eat properly for my body now has a lot to do with going to CrossFit, because I'm continuing to work on my body while I'm off HCG. So, so the same idea, for you guys, it may not be CrossFit, but if you find something that involves using your body in a healthy way, I think it can really help keep you motivated to continue to eat good. Because for me, if I just finish HCG and lay around and do nothing, it's just too tempting to start eating chips or something. It's like it can be hard. But since I go to this place where I get a really intense workout 3 to 4 times a week, it just, when I'm done with that, I feel all motivated to just keep working with that and keep training my body and keep sculpting my body. So, so anyway, that's my update there. It's just crazy. I've gained over 12 pounds of muscle in 9 months. So that's crazy. And that's something I wanted to do. I know not everyone wants to do that, but for me, it's been exciting. I wanted to get strong. So I'm prepping for my 5th round. It's going to be a short round. Now that I'm smaller, I can only handle short rounds. It gets too torturous because the weight loss is much slower. And I think it's better for my body anyway. I noticed that the stabilization after my 4th round was one of the easiest stabilizations I've ever had. And I think it's because I didn't lose quite so much fat all at one time. I only lost 5 pounds of fat or something in the 3 weeks. But when I tried to stabilize, it was so easy, And then the last few scale jumps that I've had, thankfully I know enough now about my body that I kind of let things ride if I know I'm in general that I'm pretty sure I'm doing the right thing. Because see, for me, those were muscle gains, and that's what I was wanting to do. So since I wasn't fighting my body, I was able to get stronger and not feel bad or, get discouraged and eat cookies or except for during the moving. But yeah, so anyway, so I'm probably gonna be loading possibly even tomorrow, but maybe the day after tomorrow. I'm considering a 3-day load. I'm not sure. It depends on how much I gain loading the first 2 days, probably. But being that I am smaller, I'm only expecting another possible 4 to 6 pound fat loss this round. Um, I want to make sure that I load well, being smaller. So I'm thinking about that. And also, I have a new HCG. It's still RX that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be showing that to you guys soon as well. And other than that, I'm continuing to work on my website. It's really slow going. I wish I could just kind of be up to date with it. But anyway, again, don't subscribe yet to my website because I'm still adding old vlogs to the website, and eventually I'm going to start having a bunch of new stuff, but I just have to get through all this old stuff first. So anyway, I guess that's it. I don't know if there's anything else. Yeah, that's it. I am going to have a DEXA scan tomorrow actually too. I basically do a hydrostatic and a DEXA scan before and after each round now. Probably seems like too much, but I feel like it's really useful for everyone else too, because I know not everyone else can do these types of tests, and I am in the area where I can do them. So for me, it just reaffirms that HCG does work, and now I know what works for what. For instance, I've never lost any fat when I'm off of HCG and doing CrossFit. No matter how hard I work out, I eat it. I have a healthy appetite, and I'm very comfortable just gaining muscle and not losing fat at the same time because HCG works so efficiently for losing fat. So that's why I'm cycling the HCG with the CrossFit. I'm kind of going back and forth, and I probably will do this another time or two at least after this. I'm currently 23.2% body fat. My body fat is actually lower than it was in May a little bit because of my extreme muscle gain without much fat gain. So I'm hoping to get down to, somewhere between 18 and 20% body fat. So sorry if some of that is just going right over your heads. I didn't really know anything about body fat percent or what was good or numbers like that, a year ago. If you'd asked me, I wouldn't have really understood any of it. But for anyone who is interested, those are my stats, and I will be checking again a lot more often now that I'll be on around, and I'll also probably be watching a lot more vlogs. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.